When I look at pictures of young Diana, I can feel her hug me. Like there is a warmth that is just undeniable. I don't get that sense with Kristen Stewart. And I have read all of the reviews that say that she is just amazing. And I'm sure that Spencer is a very created option. I'm sure it's very unique. It's supposed to be like the 3 days of the last Christmas she spent with Prince Charles and reimagined. But I don't like to remember Princess Diana as this mental case that it seems to be they're displaying, at least in these trailers, unhinged, uncomfortable, and I really resent that narrative because I feel like that was a narrative that was created in real life by the opposition to crush her credibility. And I don't like her being remembered that way. And so while I will see this movie, if that is the narrative, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to loathe it because she deserves so much more and she was so much more. And I will be really unhappy if this is the tone that they're trying to set. There's something about Americans too. And while I know that the man that created it is not an American, but I have noticed that Americans are kind of obsessed with remembering her almost as a victim. And I just don't get that. She was very intelligent and she worked her way out of that situation. She wasn't stuck and she knew she was unhappy and she creatively worked her way out of that situation. So I don't like remembering her that way.
No, and it's one thing for Elton John to give permission for the movie of his life to contain some very, very dark scenes because thank God Elton's around and he said to the filmmakers of Rocket Man, do your worst. Tell my story. Nothing's off the table. But he's there. He's around to authorize that. The princess is not here to give permission for scenes of self-harming and bulimia.
No, and I even loathed it in The Crown. I did not think it was necessary in The Crown, and I didn't like it because she was so much more than some of these issues. And on top of that, and I know you know this, so I know I'm preaching to the choir, but some of that behavior that we read about and we heard Diana tell us about herself was instigated by Martin Bashir. Some of this behavior, some of this erraticness was because she had people whispering in her ear that things were going on behind her back that simply were not true. And I'm sure that Martin Bashir wasn't the only one that was causing trouble behind the scenes. So I wish that with all of these portrayals, they'd rewind, go back, and show us some of these, things, some of the issues that caused some of these, the bulimia, the cutting themselves. You really need to go in depth, and it does not feel like with some of these Hollywood shows or movies, they just scrape the surface because she is so much more than a 2-hour movie. But it does not to do her justice to just scrape the surface and just to see some of those horrific issues.